Well, at the end of day 4 at Trent Bridge, it's time for Ask George. Well, hello, George. What's your verdict on today's play?
I have no idea. It's mad, but it's brilliantly entertaining. You know, years ago, a game like this, it would have just faded away and been very dour and boring. It would have just been played to go through the motions. And now, it's incredible. It's just, they're like two sides that play poker, but they never bluff and they never fold. If you had a poker night with these two sides and started at 7 o'clock on a Friday evening, it would be over at 7:07, with all of them having gone all in and someone having lost their car. It's amazing.
Well, Rory Dollard comes in with my favourite question, I think, that we've had all series. He asks, what kind of new clothes do English cricket's new emperors have?
I don't know. I don't know yet. As I say, it just seems so churlish to complain. This is fantastically entertaining. I've never seen a test like this before. I don't know how many I've covered, 150, 200, something like that. I've never seen a test like this. I've been watching them my whole life. And the only one that was like this turned out to be fixed. And this isn't, this clearly isn't. I'm not saying that. So is there a bit of bluster about what's happening with England at the moment? Yeah, maybe. But is it really entertaining? And are they committed to it? And is it sort of working? I mean, look, they had won 1 in 17 before this series. And by this time tomorrow, they could be 2 up against the World Test Champions. I mean, they might be 1-1. But it is an entertainment. That is what we're here for. And it has been really good fun. And actually, the way that they're swinging at each other, I would say it's like the equivalent of the Rocky films in boxing. In the Rocky films, they just belt the hell out of each other all the time. And real boxing's a bit more cagey. Well, this is the sort of Rocky version. Are they wearing... Yeah. Is there anything to it? I don't know yet. There is something, though, genuinely inspirational about Ben Stokes, and I think there probably is about Brendan McCullum. I mean, he changed cricket anyway. He changed the McCullumisation of cricket a few years ago is a real thing, and it changed English cricket massively for the better. And maybe he's doing the same thing for Test cricket, but I don't know. I mean, sometimes you need to reflect before you reach conclusions. And to be honest, I'm sort of reeling from what's happened.
Jonathan Evans asks, 2 teams willing to take risks and set up a final day where they can win. How can we stamp this out so more games drift to dull draws that the public want and deserve?
Well, not just that, but a club that has thrown the doors open tomorrow and said tickets for free, and they'll refund people who've already bought them. What's going on in English cricket? It's brilliant. Long may it continue. It's absolutely essential. It's everything about it's welcome. We have to remember that it's an entertainment industry and that the game, Test cricket in particular, is sort of fighting for its life. And this is a reminder of how thrilling it can be. And almost every session that started the game could have gone into that sort of stalemate situation. And it never has done because the 2 teams are committed to trying to win. It sounds simple, but I don't particularly think I've seen 2 teams play like this before.
I know when my dad looked at the score on teletext the other day, he said, oh, is it going to be a bore draw? And I think he's eating his words right now that it's absolutely not turning into that.
Well, your dad was right that was the likely thing to happen. I couldn't really believe that New Zealand kept attacking this afternoon. But it sort of makes sense. They want to win the series. They don't want to just draw it, and they have to win here if they're going to win the series. And they want to retain the World Test Championship, and I think they need to win the series to have a chance of doing that as well. So maybe the World Test Championship is working in the favour of Test cricket, and there's a lot of things come together, and that's all very, very welcome. So although you can be churlish and say there were lots of errors or whatever else, there was also some fantastically high-quality cricket. I mean, did you see the sort of reverse scoop from Joe Root? There was some great, great quality out there. The game changes. It changes all the time, and it changes over a period of years. And it's definitely lost something in terms of, defensive technique and maybe rigour and patience and all that stuff. But Lord almighty, it's replaced it with things like that. It's brilliant. It's still a brilliant game. It's just a different game.
Sachin asks, who is the vice-captain of England's Test team?
Who cares? I have no idea. He hasn't gone off, has he? I don't know what you have to do to Ben Stokes to make him go off at the moment. I mean, but I mean, you presume the sensible person for it to be is Joe Root, isn't it? But they have made a point of not naming one, and Ben Stokes has made a point of refusing to go off.
Reece Benjamin tunes into a little bit of yesterday's negativity and asks, Rory Burns got 100 today. Is it time to recall him ahead of Zach Crawley?
I don't think that's so negative, and I don't think it's unreasonable at all. Yeah, it might be. I mean, look, there might be changes after this game, and I'd be very, very tempted to call up Jamie Overton as well. So there might be a few changes, and I don't think Jack Leach has had a great day either. He's not had a great test. So there are all sorts of options, but let's worry about that after tomorrow, eh? I mean, Zach Crawley, yeah. Who knows what's going to happen yet, but he could play the key hand in winning England this test.
Tom Rigby also comes in with a couple of squad changes of his own. He asks, is the third test the time to bring in Ben Compton for Zach Crawley, Harry Brook for Johnny Bairstow, and Matt Parkinson for Jack Leach?
I mean, those are all reasonable things to say, but you definitely want to wait until the end of tomorrow to make those sorts of decisions, wouldn't you? Because Johnny Bairstow has scored 200s in his last 5 tests. Is it now? Maybe it's 6. He didn't have a great first innings, didn't have a great Lords, but you don't want to dismiss that. Brook is pushing hard, eh? And that's a completely reasonable selection. Compton, Sibley, Burns, yeah, all pushing. That's all good. Again, Crawley could make an unbeaten 100 tomorrow and help England to a win. So let's just hold on that. Parkinson and Leach, yep, reasonable. I think we've got to be careful not to always think new is better or different is better. Parkinson has qualities. He is slow. And it might be that they don't want to play spinner at all at Leeds. It's not like, Dobell getting masses of bowling there, is it? So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead. It's been kind of a bit of a roller coaster ride. But those are all selections which seem reasonable to me and no doubt will be discussed. I don't know. Look, I haven't seen Compton bat in the flesh, so I don't really know what I'm talking about, to be honest. And he has had just a few weeks of doing well. I suppose you could say the same about Jamie Overton, that the Jamie Overton skill is so precious and so unique in English cricket right now that it might be worth taking a look at him, because I can't think there's anyone bowling in England anywhere near as fast as him right now. And he kind of balances the side with his batting. But, those are things that can wait for a couple of days.